So listen to this. U.S. Army veteran Lucas O'Hara, who was at Arlington Cemetery on Monday, honoring those killed at Abbey Gate on the third anniversary of the bombing in Afghanistan. He said, and I quote, "I have witnessed over 75 wreath-laying ceremonies performed by politicians and conducted 524 funerals in this cemetery during the time I served in the Presidential Honor Guard for 3 years. What I got to witness yesterday was the most respectful and solemn ceremony I have seen. There were no speeches, no angles, no weird photo ops, just our elected officials and the 45th president respectfully and solemnly honoring the fallen and their families." Now, you would think that this is something that would be celebrated by everybody in this country. Democrat, Republican, Independent, other, a halfway honest media would celebrate this. Well, the U.S. Army came out and issued a statement on the incident in Arlington, and they said federal law prohibits election-related activities at military cemeteries. Pentagon officials were concerned about Trump turning the visit into a campaign stop, but they didn't want to block him from coming, according to a Department of Defense official. So you see what I'm saying? Pentagon officials were concerned about Trump turning the visit into a campaign stop. Screw you, man. Do you know why? Because Biden visited Arlington National Cemetery. Biden did a damn video from Arlington National Cemetery. Barack Obama issued pictures from Arlington National Cemetery. In fact, he spoke at Arlington National, Barack Obama did, on 9/11, and then linked that speech to a fundraising link after he left. So why does it only matter when there's a Republican? The Washington Post, how a Trump visit sparked turmoil at one of America's most sacred cemeteries. Maggie Haberman, the New York Times, contacted by the New York Times, Michelle Marchinsano issued a statement from the family saying they support the family searching for accountability around the Abbey Gate bombing. However, she said their conversations with Arlington officials indicated that the Trump staff didn't adhere to the rules. This is the New York Times. Seriously? "We hope that those visiting this sacred site understand that those were real people who sacrificed for our freedom and that they are honored and respected accordingly," she added. She declined to answer additional questions about the gravestones' appearances in the photos. In Biden's campaign, like one of his videos that he posted from his official account, you could see gravestones with names on them in the video. Crickets from the media, crickets from the Washington Post, crickets from Maggie Haberman in the New York Times. Same thing with Barack Obama. You could see headstones with names on it. Nothing from the Washington Post, nothing from the New York Times, nothing from NPR. It only seems to matter when it's a Republican. And of course, MSNBC wasted no time getting in on what is quickly becoming yet another hoax.
And to have a normal campaign, a quote normal campaign, a campaign of years past, if there had been an altercation between a staffer, a campaign staffer, and someone who works in the cemetery, it would be the campaign staffer sort of immediately fired or at least suspended. Instead, we have the Trump team doubling and tripling down and defending that staffer and attacking the person at the cemetery. And it does reiterate, as Sam said, what the Harris team is saying. And others in the political world are saying the nation is just exhausted by Donald Trump and these hijinks.
Because
you know what I'm exhausted by? I'm exhausted of the nonstop media lies. I'm exhausted by the nonstop media hoaxes. You had Biden oversee that disastrous surrender that killed 13 precious Americans. You had Kamala bragging about being the last person in the room, saying everything was totally fine. You have Tim Walz as her vice presidential candidate who sent soldiers into combat, into harm's way, didn't go with them, abandoned them at the last possible second, and then used their service in Iraq, acted like he was there to climb a political ladder. And here you have Trump going to Arlington National Cemetery to support these families at their invitation, and somehow Trump is the one that's wrong? My God. Is this how far the media in this country has fallen? But MSNBC, they doubled down. They went even farther on this.
We were ticking through earlier in the show the long list of times where Donald Trump has indeed denigrated the service of others, including those who have given their lives for the country. And as you see it, he did it again this week.
Well, this is the great paradox of Donald Trump. His own record of non-service is of course well documented, but so is this long record of denigrating the service of others and his contempt. And yet he continues to wrap himself as the champion of the military. And many veterans seem to think that he is an ally of the military. But you walk through. You look at this picture that you're showing right now. I mean, there's something deeply unnatural about this. Who posing with a thumbs up in front of the grave of a?
Everybody is there, huge smiles on their faces. Everybody's giving a thumbs up. Do you want to know why they're happy? Of course, it's a solemn, sad moment. They're remembering their son or their daughter who gave the ultimate sacrifice on behalf of a grateful nation. Yeah, but yes, these are solemn, sad moments, but they're also celebratory because they celebrate the life of those who gave everything for our freedom. What they would want is us to live our life to the fullest. You understand that, right? Those people, you could see it in their faces that they were excited that the 45th president of the United States took time out of his day to go to something that was very difficult. It's not easy to go to those events. It's not easy to sit in pain with families who've lost loved ones, who, by the way, have been completely ignored by the administration in this country. So yeah, look at their faces. They're happy and excited that the 45th president took time out of his day to be there with them. And so, yes, they're giving a thumbs up. But now, NBC now is even asking Kelly Hoover, who is a Gold Star mother, questions about why she invited Trump in the first place. To me, it's just disgusting because these Gold Star families should not have to answer these depraved and shitty questions from our media. But again, here we are.
Kelly Barnett invited the former president to Arlington. Her son, Marine Staff Sergeant Taylor Hoover, died at Abbey Gate. What would you say to people who may be pro-Trump, anti-Trump, whatever their politics might be, who just feel like that's not a place for politicians or for politics?
I would have to say, are you in my shoes? I invited him. My son was murdered under the Bide-Harris administration.
She should have never had to answer that question, but good for her on not backing down. I'm sorry, are you in my shoes? My son was killed under the Biden-Harris administration. Good on her for not backing down.
Mike Lindell here, and like you, I see our country being destroyed daily. We face massive economic issues, and I can tell you from firsthand experience, there are people in power who threaten the values that have made our country great. Well, I've been a believer in gold and silver for a long time, and I've searched for years for a partner that shares my values. Well, Genesis Gold Group showed me how easy it is to protect your IRA, 401k, or your retirement with gold and silver. Their faith-driven approach to service and stewardship is one that stands out from the rest.
To get your free definitive gold guide and get started learning more about investing in gold and protecting your retirement from uncertain times, visit treasureandtrust.com now. Fill out the basic contact form and a member of the team will be in touch. Again, that's treasureandtrust.com or call 855-625-7760.